Hey, Miss Boynton's class, just a few short hours from now on Tuesday, you will be sitting in these seats that are right behind me, and you will be watching a presentation that will take place approximately where I am sitting right now. Now, what I'd like for you to do today for you is I would like to give you a quick overview of the type of presentations that you'll be seeing. I'd like to introduce you to the project itself, what my students have been working on, and I'd like to give you a few tips of some things that you can be looking for. Now, the first thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to say thank you. From me to you, thank you. I know that you would probably rather be working on a worksheet or preparing your own speech or copying out of the dictionary or you name it, any other variety of things. I know you would rather be doing that than watching a bunch of 7th graders present. So from me to you, thank you, because I think you will serve an important role for my students, giving them an authentic audience, making them a little bit nervous, which they are, and just providing a really cool atmosphere and experience for them. So from me to you, thank you. I also want to say from my students to you, thank you as well. They may not say that right now, but they're appreciative as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let me give you a quick introduction to what this project is. Now some of you, maybe if you've been in my class before, you might remember doing this project. I call this project ACMS Toy Company. And about 3 weeks ago or so, we started reading some Greek and Roman mythology. And we talked about those stories. We read deeply into those stories and learned not only about the characters, but about what those stories had to say about who we are and about life and about a variety of different things. Now, after we read those stories, I told the students that they were responsible in small groups for creating a toy company that was in some way related to mythology. So they read a story about Poseidon. And so maybe they wanted to create a company that was centered around Poseidon, and they were a toy company that made water-based toys, something like that. Their toy company had to be related to mythology. Now, along with their toy company, they had to come up with a name. They had to design a logo that was meaningful and symbolic. They had to come up with a mission statement for their company, and they also had to come up with a nonprofit organization that in some way shared a mission or a goal with what they wanted for their company. So it was really those 4 things: the company name related to mythology, a logo, a mission statement, and they had to have a nonprofit organization that they were partnering with. Now, once they claimed all of those things, they presented them to the rest of the class, and those things were set in stone. They could not be changed. And I told the students that there was a twist coming. I said, don't be so quick to plan a product yet. Don't be so quick to make a product, because there's gonna be a twist. There's always a twist in there. So once they claimed all of those things, the twist was that I was giving them 4 different items that they had to incorporate into their toy that they were creating. Now, some of the items that each group got were the same. For example, the first item that they got was a cardboard box. I don't have any left because I gave them all away, but they were all the same size, all the same shape, just a cardboard box. The second item that each group got were actually 2 sheets of bubble paper. And so that kind of that bubble wrap that goes inside boxes frequently, so that bubble paper. The third thing that each group got was none other than a plunger. Now don't worry, it's not used. I joked with him that it was, but it was not used. So every group had a box, 2 sheets of bubble wrap, they had a plunger, and then the 4th item was different for each group. And so they were completely random. I went to the dollar store and I just bought the most random thing that I possibly could. And so some groups might have had some foil little trays that they had to use. One group had a paint roller. Groups might have had something like this little pointer thing. Yeah, I don't know. They just had a variety of different things to try to make a toy out of. Now, the rules for these toys were that they had to use every single part of all 4 items that I gave them. every single part. And not only that, but they couldn't use the item for what it was actually used for. So if it's a paint roller, it couldn't be a paint roller. If I gave them a little toy fishing pole, they couldn't call it Poseidon's fishing pole and just make it actually what it's for. So the box, it couldn't be a container. They had to change it into something else. So they had to incorporate all those things, make their toy that fit with their company, that fit with their mission statement, that connected with the nonprofit, and develop that toy. That's what they've been working on for about the past 2 weeks. Now, late last week, they started preparing for their presentation. Now, the presentation that you'll be seeing tomorrow, right in this very spot, is going to be kind of like Shark Tank. So if you've ever seen Shark Tank before, you have a team of investors in the back, and then you have the presenters, and each presenter has their product, their company, whatever it is, and they go to the investors and they're asking the investors to invest in their company. That's the presentations that you're going to be seeing tomorrow. But instead of being the presenter, you get to serve as the investor, and that's exciting. And so each group is going to have 7 minutes during which they will be introducing their product to you, they'll be introducing their company, they'll be describing their logo and their mythology connection and all of that. They're trying to cram that in to 7 minutes. And at the end of all 4 or 5 presentations that you'll be seeing, you're going to have a stack of cash. Not real cash, because I'm a teacher, right? Let's be honest. But you'll have a stack of cash that I'll ask you to invest. There'll be bills in different denominations. So some of them may be $1, $5, $10, $50. And I'm going to ask you to divide and invest your money based on how you liked the presentations and the products and all of that. So you can invest all at once, all in one company, or you can invest bits and pieces in different companies. You can invest however you would like. But let me tell you a couple things that I'd like for you to look for. The first thing that I want you to look for when you see these presentations is obviously the product. It's all about the product, right? If you are going to invest in this company, you want to get behind a product that you believe in. And so when you are thinking about the product, when you see it demonstrated, when you look at it visually and you can kind of see the overall quality of it, I want you to pay attention to those things and think about how they creatively used all of the different items and brought them together to make a toy that would actually be fun, that kids would actually enjoy playing with, that might actually be functional. Now, some of the groups might have just a prototype of their toy. They're not in mass production yet, but this is just a prototype of what it would be like. So for some of them, you may have to use your imagination a little bit, but that's what I want you to do. Definitely evaluate the toy. The second thing that I want you to evaluate is their presentation, and that's where your expertise is really going to come in. You need to be paying attention to their eye contact. You need to be paying attention to their volume. You need to be paying attention to their posture, the way that they're standing while they are presenting. You need to be paying attention to the other group members. While one person is presenting, what is everybody else doing? You need to be paying attention to all those things that I know you talk about in Miss Boynton's class. Those nonverbal things, but even those verbal things as well. You want to judge the quality of their presentation skills. Many of them may be dressed a certain way to try to get across an idea or a point to you. So you want to pay attention to that as well and take that into consideration. Presentation skills. So we've got the product to pay attention to. You've got presentation skills that I want you to pay attention to. I also want you to pay attention to their organization and planning. And this is loosely tied with their presentation skills. But I want you to be thinking about the way that they use their 7 minutes. That's all the time that they have. So in 7 minutes, is there much dead time in the presentation? In 7 minutes, does everybody know what they're going to say? Does everybody know what order they're going to say it in? Is there a slight delay when they're trying to incorporate technology? Those are the types of things that I want you to pay attention to. Basically, you're looking for evidence of have they practiced, have they rehearsed, do they know what they're doing, and is the beginning building to the middle, which is building to a conclusion at the end. That's what I want you to pay attention to in the organization and planning. And the Fourth thing that I want you to watch out for is their company overall. I want you to understand that there should be a little thread that weaves its way all the way through each of the different components of their company, from the company to the nonprofit organization to the product to their mission statement. It should all have this little thread that weaves its way through. And I want you to judge their company based on that thread that weaves its way through. It may be that they came up with a company that was connected to a mission statement and everything, but their toy is not really related to the company and the mission statement. We'll take that into consideration when you invest. And so think about the company in general. And then the last thing that I want you to pay attention to is obviously just kind of what I call polish. And when I say polish, I'm talking about all the different things that this group might have created to go in their presentation, whether it's a video or a slideshow or business cards or a handout or a website or whatever it is that they created. I want you to pay attention to the quality of that thing, whatever it is. Pay attention to spelling and to capitalization and to visual appeal, to color schemes. Pay attention to all those things. Call this polish. They are aware that they're trying to come across as professional as possible. And so that's what I want you to look for. So when you come into my class, I would ask that you bring something to write with. I would ask that you bring something hard to write on, because I'll be giving you a form that you can kind of take notes on the different companies. And I'd like for you to bring your iPad as well, because it may be that there will be some groups that would like for you to go visit their website so that you can see the different things that they have created. So bring your iPad, bring something to write with, and bring something hard to write on. And other than that, you guys just come ready to enjoy, ready to critique, but do so respectfully, of course. And I think you're going to have a great time. Again, thank you so much for helping us out.